Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this beautiful card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for you on my website. And I also have links for the products I used, and you can just click the links for the products that you would like, or you can click Add All to the cart. Don't worry, you can add or take away all that you want to take away once you get to the cart. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I used Fond of Autumn and the coordinating Autumn Bouquet Dies, and also the Leaf Fall Embossing Folder. I have a very vanilla envelope, and I have crushed curry card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces of early espresso that are 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of the coppery metallic foil that is 5 by 3 3/4. I also had about a half sheet of old olive, and I have already cut it up with the dies, and let me show you how these work. We have 3 pieces that basically cut out the same design. We have this piece that only cuts out the detail. It does not cut out this piece, so you could keep this as a solid background and just have the pattern here. Or you can cut that out and then cut this out as an outline. In this case, for this project, I have stamped it and then cut this piece out as an outline. And then I've also got this other piece that cuts out the very same shape, but it cuts it up into 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces. So I have cut both of these out of the old olive. And then I've used this acorn to cut 3 acorns, 3 flowers, and 3 of these leaves. Now you can stamp and then die cut, or you can die cut and then stamp. And I find when I do a lot of cards, if I die cut and then stamp, I can have the die cut pieces really close together. What I do is I arrange my stamps on the plate, and we are stamping all of these in early espresso ink. And so then I cut that piece out, and in this case I used just crumb cake. But if you not only stamp the crumb cake but also stamp the grid paper, you can know exactly where this goes. You leave these on so those don't get moved. You can see this one's kind of stamped double because the way when I cut it out the first time, I wasn't really happy the way this piece came out, so I moved it a little bit. And then I can put my magnets on and just put these into the puzzle pieces. You've seen me do this before if you've been working with me for a while. And then these go in very nicely, and I just need another leaf. And they kind of fit in there. And then if I have a stamp pad or a stamp case on there, it makes it nice. It's about the right height. Inked up all of these stamps. And I should get a perfect impression. Make sure you press all around. And I missed a place over here. And it looks like maybe I didn't ink it all the way to the edge there, so let me just re-ink. go. Now this ink might be a little bit wet, so if you try and pick this up with the take your pick tool, get some more putty, avoid where the ink is so you don't smear it. And then with this piece, I have drawn around those 4 pieces, so it's a little bit easier to find my puzzle pieces. I just put my die in there and drew around the die. And so you can kind of see how those 4 pieces really are the same shape. Another flower, another acorn, another leaf, another leaf, ink again. Make sure I get all the whole stamp, and I might move this magnet a little bit. And I really should be using Gidget's Gadget. It really does a nice job of pressing evenly. I love the Stamparatus. It really makes life a lot easier, especially if you're one of those people that's really kind of unsure about stamping. Or maybe your hands are a little bit shaky. The Stamparatus solves a lot of those problems. So we'll just ink these little pieces up. Bringing in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. The big one this time. So I need the number 1 platform. I have the number 4 ready to go. I need my embossing folder. And in this case, I really want to have the embossing at least on the top right corner and the bottom left corner. So I'm putting it up near the top. And I want to go with the crease or the fold first. Cover it up with the number 4 plate. This is what we use for the 3D embossing folders. And I just love the way the foils emboss. Isn't it beautiful? And I needed a piece of crumb cake that is the same size as the copper foil, so it's 5 by 3 3/4. We're going to be layering that. I don't think this piece got separated from the other cardstocks. And on this piece, we're just going to stamp "Thank you." And I want to add just a little bit more color to the flowers and the leaves. So I have those same colors as this cardstock because I'm going to be matching the same colors. So I have crumb cake, old olive, and crushed curry. And I have my Sponge Daubers to coordinate with those colors. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color pretty much from the inside of the flowers. Just make it a little bit darker. Really not doing much at all, and if you want to skip this step, that's fine with me. and mostly to the leaves. Oh, that got dark. I thought about coloring the berries on these to bring those out, and I just decided it was kind of, I just decided that this was enough, but you could certainly do that, or you could add gems as the berries on here. And on this, I'm just coloring the caps with the crumb cake ink. And you can see that was really quick and easy, and I'm not trying to be perfect at all on my inking. So we just want to put the inside greeting on the early espresso. And the copper foil, and I like to use the liquid glue when I'm using embossing, just because I don't want to press down on any of the embossing. So that goes on the other early espresso. And this goes on the front of the card. And again, I want the embossing up in this corner. And the inside greeting goes on the inside, of course. And then I don't know if I told you, I'm using this old olive. Last month I used the Sahara sand. This comes in a bundle with Sahara sand and old olive twill. And I believe we need about 12 inches. I didn't actually measure when I made my sample. I am cutting that at an angle. And I am putting one piece right about there. And one piece on either side. These can be a little bit lower. And so I'm going to find the center of my ribbon and put it here. And then I'm going to cross it over. So I need another glue dot down here and another glue dot about there. So I'm just crossing this over to, I'm not really making a bow, but it kind of looks sort of like a bow. And I think 12 inches was really pretty close. Then I'm going to take this piece and look at the acorns, and they should hang downward. And I'm putting this straight on, but I'm putting this at an angle, but directly onto the copper. And I wanted to snip the leaves because we don't want yellow leaves. You could leave them on if you want. And I got a little quick with that one. I'm going to put it here. This flower is smaller than the other two, so I definitely want to put this flat. And this one I'm putting flat, and then this one we're going to put on dimensionals. So the one that I snipped a little close, I'm going to stick there. So I want a dimensional on one of the acorns, and we'll put two of the acorns on here flat. I wanted to put this piece on the biggest of the 4 pieces. I want dimensionals on that. So this actually exactly matches here, but if you want to switch it over a little bit and kind of add some more texture, that's, I think, a good thing. So then we'll add acorns here, 2 of them with just liquid glue, and 1 of them on dimensionals. And then I'm going to put mini dimensionals on these leaves. So we'll put the 1 flower on dimensionals and just kind of tuck these in as you see fit. Maybe one over here. And then these 3 pieces can go on the inside. You can put all 3 of them in there if you want, or you can use just one. I think, since I got dark on there, I think I'm going to cover that up a little bit, so I'll put them like that. And I'm kind of going off the edge of the crumb cake. I think it adds to the dimension of that. And which way do I want these? Let's go that way. And that's it. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Home near the top of my page and you'll find lots of resources. Under Shop, you can find the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. How to get free products with my frequent shopper rewards, and a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Inspiration to scroll all my projects back to 2011, most with detailed directions and videos. Though the products in those older projects have been retired, you may find techniques, layouts, or color combinations to inspire you today. If you're new to stamping, you might want to look at the basics. You'll find how to cut card bases and layers, what's special about Stampin' Up! Stamps, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find lots of free resources such as catalog tabs, labels and case inserts, color tools, and much more. You can take a tour of my craft wall. More organization means more time for stamping. You can learn about my Evernote notebook. I have a note for every current product that Stampin' Up! Has for sale right now. And you can sort them all by the type of product. You can search just for the stamps. You can search just for the designer series paper. You can search for the phrase that you want or an image that you would like to use. You can search all the products that come in a particular color. It really makes finding just exactly what you want very easy. And you can create your own notebook and search through all of the things that you own to find just what you need. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. The team is made of crafters who want to save money on the products they buy, share with a few friends, or start a Stampin' Up! Business like mine. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on my YouTube channel. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.